A very good evening to all of you. I hope all of you all have been having a fabulous week. We are going to be talking about cybersecurity this in today's webinar, and it's going to be very exciting. We have two brilliant panelists joining us today, and we are partnered with HCL Tech to make this webinar possible. So, before we start, let me give you all an introduction about HCL Tech. HCL Tech has a global presence of 54 countries and has been in Sri Lanka for 2 years. It has created over 1,500 opportunities for undergraduates and young graduates in the tech industry, and they provide for the world's best brands from their facility at Cinnamon Live. HCL Tech has introduced the Tech Bees program, which provides an alternative pathway to A-level students and enables them to become tech engineers. The Tech Bees scholars will complete their IT degrees while working at HCL Tech, and this program is brilliantly open to any Sri Lankan student from any school. We have joining us for today's webinar Mr. Ziam Abdeen and Mr. Jude Myran. And before I give all of you an introduction to our brilliant panelists, let's play a little commercial that we have from HCL Tech.
Progress. It comes from having a clear objective, a goal, moving forward unwaveringly towards success. It can be fast, it can be slow, it can be disruptive, but one thing it can't be is stopped. While progress might seem inevitable, breakthroughs come from supercharging it, delivering business outcomes at scale, fulfilling aspirations with compassion, innovating responsibly, finding new levels of efficiency, removing barriers, unlocking potential. Business is always moving, so it's easy to confuse motion with real progress. Whether it's day-to-day success or transformational gains, we supercharge progress to change the game. HCL Tech, supercharging progress.
All right, and that was our partners for today's webinar. So, a big welcome to Mr. Ziam and Mr. Jude. We are so honored that you were able to join us today for today's webinar. So before we jump into this, let me give a brief introduction to both Mr. Ziam and Mr. Jude. Mr. Ziam Abdeen is a computer network and cybersecurity trainer, and he built Winsys Network in 2003 to focus on providing a quality training for the Sri Lankan ICT industry. In 2006, he started consulting many companies and government entities in the areas related to software, web, and application development. His main focus was on how to secure these developments and be in line with data protection and the regulatory issues. Mr. Ziam is passionate about training and consulting and is always happy to share his knowledge and experience with the next generation of students. We also have joining us Mr. Jude. Mr. Jude Myran has over 12 years of industrial experience in the information security sector, with networks, systems, and cyber being his major domains. He also has 8 years of lecturing experience with both local and international institutes and is currently lecturing at Winsys, IDM, and Appit. Mr. Jude has a BSc in Engineering in Electronics and Telecommunications and an MBA and MSc in Cybersecurity and Forensics, along with a handful of vendor certifications such as Cisco and Fortinet. So, once again, a big welcome to both Mr. Ziam and Mr. Jude. It's a pleasure having you both on board.
Thank you, Amasha. Thank you very much for having us here. Yes.
So, As everyone who's joined in knows, today's discussion is going to be focused mainly on cybersecurity and providing future students with an insight into this industry and field. So, to start off this session, I would like to pose this question to both of you. Why is cybersecurity important, especially in today's age?
Jude, you can start.
Yeah, definitely. So, cybersecurity, we can look into this in two different angles. Angle number one, that you can see nowadays, that we are more convenient on getting ourselves adapted towards the digital platform, even from the payment card or even from learning models, everything that we are so much convenient with the digital platform. So with more and more adaptation towards the digital platform, definitely the amount of data that we are generating is extremely high. As per the researchers, the amount of data in the entire world is getting doubled every minute. So that is one angle. On the second angle, if you think, 10 years back, there were only very few amount of hacking tools, but they are very expensive and we need massive knowledge in order to operate them. But now it's completely opposite. There are so many tools, most of them are free, and we don't pretty much need any knowledge to operate them. Probably a 1 hour training would be enough for anyone to actually perform an attack by using those tools. So one side, the amount of data generation and the convenience is going high. On the other side, attacks and the attackers are also growing. So we need to find a very right balance between these two. And cybersecurity is the only one option which can actually provide that thing for that right balance for us. That is what my viewpoint. Mr. Ziam, I think that he can explain a little bit more on this.
Yeah. Yeah, in my point of view, now, Amasha, if you see that, you know that even in Sri Lanka, what happened mostly, where the most people are gathering, there you can see some pickpocket people might be there and robbers and looting, everything can happen when there are more people can be involved in it. But if you see that almost last 2 decades, the world is trying to connect each and every people to the internet connectivity. They need to bring everyone to the internet. So who are the people who are investing that everyone to come to the internet? If you see that Microsoft or Facebook, Cisco, Google, they were the people who are trying investing and try to bring almost every people to come inside of the world. Why they are doing that? There must be a reason behind. They won't do something like really. The reason, if you check that, how they became a billionaires because of the data. So they pulled out almost all the people's data. Based on the data only, they became this much of the billionaires. So what they want is to bring everyone to come on board. Previously, they try to the entire world was on a. If mostly we used to go for the conferences, and their target was to what? Build 1 billion people to the internet connections. That's what's the previous target. Later on, time gradually increased. They said how to connect the next billion people. That was their target. Now, Hamasha, believe it or not, they can how to bring the last billion people to the internet. So they want all 7 billion people to come to the internet. So the more the people keep on connecting, people might be thinking, okay, I'm using my device. Okay, I'm secure. That no. See, when the moment you connect to the internet, that means it's cyber. Everyone can. If you can access anything, mean definitely other people also can access you. So it's compulsory education now. If I say compulsory education, that how you cross the road, you must know. Similar, it's compulsory knowledge that you need to know. Everyone. It's not only to the people who are involving in the computer. If you check, everyone is now involving. Whether you pay your payment through online connectivity, you are already involved. Maybe even an SMS. Now, if you see this, the Jude and will be agree with me. For the last 2 weeks, or 2 months before, I think the Australian telco was got affected. So what happened was almost 1 million people's data was breached there. So with that data, so they try to, all the very low-level people, they are not my highly educated people for the cybersecurity. So all those people are in the vulnerability now area now. So the personal data has been breached. So everyone. So what happened though? That the hackers target now. What happened? The highly vulnerable people are the old people. So they are not much aware of a computer, and they don't know much involving. Their age was gone, and they just maybe say hi, hello, maybe on a mobile phone only. So these people, what happened? They target those people, sending an SMS, send a reply to back. Again, there's a code, something like that. There are so many attack types there. So it's attacking. So what happened now? It's not, Amasha, you and myself or Jude need to know about cybersecurity. It's a compulsory education to everyone now at the moment, because everyone is connected.
Yes, definitely. And I think it's something that we don't realize. I mean, most of the people in our generation or the younger generations, we're constantly on our phones, on social media, but we don't realize the extent to which our data can be breached and utilized by other third parties. Um, so I think that's why these sessions like this are so important, because we can get to talk about it and actually inform the new and younger generations, or basically anyone who is not really aware of these dangers. So to talk a little bit more about the general area of cybersecurity, tell me a little bit about the primary goal behind cybersecurity.
Jude, start with you.
Yeah, sure. I would say the primary goal is there is only one goal, which is data security. So wherever the data resides, they're going to be a cyber security. They're going to be a provision, and they're going to be an opportunity or potential for a security to be there. So people are nowadays talking about data science. That is one of the hot topic, and I would call it as a hot cake. It was there in the table for about a couple of years. So data science is a concept where you actually get raw data and change those data into useful information, and using those information to predict some decisions and stuff like that. So it's a massive involvement, right? Not only for the low level management and day-to-day operations, even for the strategic movements, they're actually using the data. So information is wealth. So if your data got compromised, pretty much it'll risk you. There might be chances you have to close the business. If you lose money, you can gain it again with the right strategy. But if you lose your data, you have to figure out a different business to get it done. That is what the world that we are actually living in. So wherever data comes, if you're thinking about cloud, yes, cloud has a data. If you're thinking about other new technologies like artificial intelligence, like everyone, you young guys are knowing about the Chat GPT and Pictory or Jasper AI, pretty much these guys are actually using. So artificial intelligence is completely based on how well that you can coordinate the data available on the databases, right from the Google databases, the dark web, and the deep web. So in every different places in our day-to-day life, we are actually dealing with the data. So if you have something to do with the data, that means that you have something to do with the cybersecurity as well. So without the security, if you are trying to manipulate the data, that is just something like you are going for a war without any guns.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
definitely.
Yeah. Thanks, Jude.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mr.
I'll add on some points to that, because I'll come within a practical perspective view. I remember that once I've been to Melbourne for one of the conference, and while it's also too early when we used to go Sri Lanka early. Now their conference started at 9 o'clock. So I have seen that some small kids with nice colored dresses, and they're school kids. On the same parade, they're going on walking with the teachers and all. So I tried to take a picture of them. Then not even a split of second, the teacher came in front of the camera and said, like this. Then I have noticed that I'm okay. So what I tried to do was, it was totally wrong, the act which. So think about in Sri Lanka, if you want to take a picture of a girl or a boy, whatever, the size of matter, even without a half naked also, what happened? People might be saying, okay, Kinavinda, what's Kinavinda, Baba, Uncle, Haikian. We don't. The thing is, what happened, we don't know what to protect, what to not to protect. That's the concern thing. So we try to say that we try to protect the cyber security. We are talking on a technical jargon things, but actually it's a Personal Data Protection Act is the really important at the moment. So Sri Lanka is now concerned with any part of the world now. All the Budapest Hungary law or the ISO 27000 law, every law comes to what they try to protect the data. It's your own personal data. So what to protect, what to not to protect is another issue than that. So when you come to the cybersecurity, we have to understand that, okay, am I going to put restriction for the entire people to go out of from my company to access the internet? So what is the point then the internet mean? So how far you going to allow them to go? So there must be a permission and there must be a restriction. So what to restrict, what to not to restrict. That's what all about cybersecurity.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you, Mrs. Yeah. So a small question with the answers that you all gave me. I think for some people who don't necessarily like know the subject area so well, what specifically is the data that we need as individuals or as companies need to protect?
Sure.
Yeah, when it comes to the data, normally, there are two different rules, I would say. Number one is when you are, for example, when you are joining for a company. So let me take HCL as an example. So when I'm joining for a company, I should be able to understand that, what are the data that I can provide. For example, if HCL comes and asks me, what is the religion I'm practicing, and I don't need to provide any answers for that. For a company or for an institution, for any place which I'm going for business, I must know what is the right to inform and what is the right to give the information. I have to provide only the certain level of information. It generally varies depending on the domains. For example, on an education domain, I need to provide probably my contact details and my educational qualifications. If I'm applying for an exemptions, I need to provide some work experience, and that's all. My political views, my financial records, or maybe my bank informations, my health records. Some HR companies, they're actually asking the health reports and all. Those are not, we don't need to provide those information. So again, the set of data that we are supposed to give, it actually varies from domain to domain. So with the
Right.
right good amount of security awareness training, that we can actually provide this one to our citizens. For example, if you take up Australia, they have something called Scam Watch Australia. Scam Watch Australia is a project that actually delivering on a national basis, like Mr. Ziam has mentioned. You just go to YouTube and just type IRS scam India, right? So it's something really, sometimes it feels funny. For young kids, you can actually go ahead and see there are scammers. They're scamming the old people in USA, and there are some attackers. They are attacking the scammers back, right? So these all are happening because there is no awareness. So during the Scam Watch projects, some countries, they're actually producing the awareness, and one of the awareness they are giving is the information, the right to the information, how much you can provide, how much you can take. That actually has to be declared.
Jude has given
Very
a
right.
huge list of answers. I mean, I simplified that questions. Okay, Amasha, you have to decide what is private, what is public. That's all. So if
Okay.
you if it's anything to be public, it's okay. It's available. It's fine. If anything you want to protect it to private, that you are doing. So that, as you said, I mean religion. It's my personal thing. I don't want to tell it again. If it's my qualifications, it's publicly whether it's definitely a need of the company. So you can tell that one. So you have to understand. That's what we call PDP. I mean, Personal Data Protection Act mean personal data. So that you mean it's not about no need to give it to the public something things. If it's only personal to up to you, what is your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Something like that. At what time you go to sleep? Those are personal things.
Yes, that makes so much sense. I think it'll help everyone who's listening in as well. Actually, if any of our audience today has any questions relating to cybersecurity, especially with regards to joining the industry, if they have any questions, please drop it down in the chat and we will attempt to answer as many questions as possible. So remember, if you have any questions, just drop those questions down in the chat. Um, Okay, so I think we covered the importance of cybersecurity. So let's talk a little bit. I think the second main question a student would especially have is what are the career options that would be available if they pursue a degree in cybersecurity, right? So tell me a little bit about the different career options that are available.
Yeah, sure. So, let's say that you have completed an HND and completed a BSc degree in cybersecurity. There are two different career paths that you can actually select. Number one is a technical path. Number two is a managerial path. So when it comes to the technical path, the very basic level of position that you can go for is called SOC analyst. SOC stands for Security Operations Center, something similar to the NOC, Network Operations Center. So in the SOC analyst itself, there are multiple bands: analyst band 1, analyst band 2, analyst band 3, where the already the incidents, if any incidents related to the cybersecurity domain comes, along with the seniors, the SOC analyst people will try to figure out what went wrong, what is the root cause, what is the preventive and corrective action, and slowly they get to learn on the infrastructures and how it can be attacked and stuff like that. So the basic part is SOC analyst, and then you can go ahead and target vulnerability analysis and penetration testing. That is a very interesting field. But in order to target it, you need to have a minimum 2 or maybe 3 years of experience. Then only that you will be very much succeeded with the penetration testing and vulnerability analysis. And the third one could be red teaming, not much practiced in the Asian countries except Singapore, but in European countries, red and blue teaming, where blue team people are responsible for design and implement and secure infrastructure, and red team people are responsible to break the infrastructure. And then they have to educate, how did I break it, and what went wrong, and what should have been done to stop me, and stuff like that. So these are some of the fields, and on top of it, you can definitely go for secure programmer, because way back in the days, like the programming concept has only 2 different teams. One is a developer, another one is going to be the quality analyst, and that's all. Right? So now there is a third team called software pen testers. What these people generally do is they will host the developed software into a container or maybe a cloud platform, and they'll try to hack that software. And that means they are going to attack the software, and then they are going to build the secure structure for the software. So if the software itself can actually defend him, right, defend the attacks, then we don't need to invest a lot on those fancy devices like firewalls and all, because the intelligence is brought to this code itself. And on top of that, again, if you are looking for something on technical platform, you can go as a digital forensics analyst, or you can go as a malware analyst. These are some of the platforms that you can start your career with. Only the penetration testing, you need to have 2 years of experience. On the managerial side, definitely, writing up a policy and doing a risk assessment or doing a compliance assessment, you need to have minimum 2 years of experience. But definitely you can start yourself with an auditor, where you can go and learn about a specific framework, try to understand various controls, which is already implemented. So we are not inventing any wheel here. It's already there. All you need to do is understand the controls, go to your company and see whether the control is not there. If it is not there, speak to your senior and get an idea on how to implement the control, write it on a report, produce it to the organization. So once if you get a good knowledge of it, when you have a good grip of it after 2 years, then you can go as an external auditor, and you can go even, like work as a freelancer or consultant on helping the organization to achieve those framework certifications like ISOs, NIST, and SOC, and stuff like that. This is my point of view. Mr. Ziam, he will be able to add.
I mean, Jude gave us a huge list. I mean, I just want to add only one particular thing. So, see, it's when you want to join a cybersecurity or maybe any network security, it's all about trust. So, because when you join on a company, what happened? They want to make sure that you are a trustable person or not. So, in order to do that one, you have to build your personality skills. I mean, your personal behaviors, your personality, and your social network. What are the posts that you are putting in, and how you are talking to the people. And while even on the interview, also they will see that, okay, whether are you compromising too much of data, or you are answering only to the relevant domain question or something like that. In addition to that, I'll give you another extra subject. That means if you can be a bugs bounty. If you can be a bugs bounty, what happened then? Maybe you can check on the websites of the famous companies or any other companies, and you can check the website. You can find out their problems on the web domains. Okay, what are the maybe it's a vulnerable website. Somebody can hack you the website. Some data has been breached on the website, on the tools and all. If you can inform to the relevant authority of that particular organizations, they will definitely, some companies, they will reward you on a cash or other gifts, white vouchers. But more than that, if you can get a good letter from that organization that you have did that task for them free of charge, and if they get an appreciation letter, that particular letter will be more valuable than the money or any other token of appreciation. I think when you want to journal person cybersecurity domain, like for example, most of the other part of the world, I mean, they see that okay, if you are on a technical guy, they see how many patent you have it at the moment. So, but here we don't have that kind of a patent or anything, but at least to build up your rapport, that it is build up yourself, that you will say that, okay, these are the letters that I have obtained from the organization that have did my bugs bounty. That means you are a trustable guy. You are not a hacker. So you're protecting that particular organization data, and you did it for them for free of charge or anything that way. So that valuable. So if students can do that one very easily, they can go and can do that one. So that will be an easy point of doing. And sometimes you can earn some money as well. And there are so many other programs also. When an organization, they hire you as a, okay, why don't you penetrate testing, like Jude said, penetrate tested and update me. That can be done. That's one thing, but more than that, Jude had given more information.
Yeah, those were two very comprehensive answers. So it definitely gave us like an in-depth analysis on the career options that are available. I think another big question that students have is whether there are any prerequisites that are required to obtain a higher education in cybersecurity. So, what are the prerequisites that are needed?
Okay. It's like this, what happened now, people might be thinking, okay, I need to study in a science stream, I need to do very good in maths, then physics and chemistry, then only I can be a doctor, engineer, or if not, then I can be a computer scientist or anything. My question is, what happened then? The A level, in my terms, if you have A level, that will be an added advantage for you. But I personally, I'm just already said that word, but personally, I believe that in my terms, I'm not looking at that A level for a compulsory for the person. The reason, think about that you did A level agriculture. Okay, after the A level, you want to pursue your degree in computing. So what's relevant to your agriculture and to the computing? Maybe later on you can be an innovator or invent something related to your studies of computer, and maybe with the agriculture, and you can invent something. But more than that's okay. Assume that you studied arts in your A level. Okay, so what happened then? You study something logics, politics, and some other languages. That has nothing to do with your computer subjects and all. So there's no, I don't keep a barrier for that. Something. But what happened now? Even now in our particular center office, even day before yesterday, there was a student came to the inquiry. Is a grade 8, so he want to hack. He want to learn about hacking system. So it's legally, but then our counselor said that you can't hack like that. There are data protection laws and applicable, and you could do that. So that the youngsters are now very fast to do that one. Okay, and even if you see that the president website has been hacked by a minor age person, and he had been given pardon and subgifted. So it's even the Maldives Telecom was hacked by a 60-year-old guy, and that has been. So there are so many hacking incidents happening with an underage student, mid ages. Then. So they don't know what's properly to be done, but they're doing it very well. My question is that, so if you see the prerequisite is after A level, after this one, you need to go that level, you can't do something different. And I have seen even Jude's, one of the student of Jude also, okay, one of the student who came from an HND program, and after 2 classes, so he attended, so his father phoned me and said that, okay, I don't want to do this one, it's very difficult to me, I can't. He was totally up and down. Then I asked him, okay, why don't you follow for another 2-3 classes and update me? You know what happened? I mean, day before yesterday convocation, he got the gold medal. So that's totally different. I mean, so think about it. That's out of that. He said that he can't do it, but he did it. So only time is what happened. Anybody can do that's this one. You don't need to come up on a point. Okay, this is an expert level domain. That is. Anyone can start any place. Only what you need is you have some passionate to do that one. There's some restriction what happen. Now, if you want to pursue your education on an academic qualification, there you need your O-level maths and English. Those are compulsories. Otherwise, what happened? The university will not give an admission to their finally a degree programs or anything. But other than that, too, there are so many professional certifications there. There are Azure and AWS and CES, CHFI. They don't look into your O-level results or anything. You can do anything, and you can learn, and you can be an expert. That's my point of view on that. Jude, anything to be added on?
Yeah, I wanted to add one more thing. Mr. Ziam has covered pretty much everything required for the question. One more thing is like what I personally feel like if people who are coming to the cybersecurity even in a younger age, they need to have a little bit of like maturity. Like they might be 16 years, but nowadays these kids, like they are not the 16 that what we were doing. What I was doing at the age of 16 is these people are doing at the age of 5. So, what I am expecting from the young students, yes, anyone can choose cybersecurity. Two things to be keep in mind. One is first learn the basics. Don't immediately come and say, "Hey, I wanted to attack a Facebook server and I wanted to steal the usernames and password." And like don't try. It's a fun, but there is a lot more to do apart from that. So we need to go, step by step. Try to learn the entire infrastructure first, how the network, wired and wireless infrastructure is happening, how the website is building, what is happening on the back end, what is happening on the front end, what's happening on the mobile application industry on iOS and and Android, and try to learn that first. Spend about a good 2 years. Keep your hacking desires, learn, study those certifications, study those courses, but involve a lot on learning on these cloud and learning on this fundamental infrastructure, and then try to elevate yourself to the hacking or offensive cybersecurity. I should use that term quite often. Offensive cybersecurity related one. And the second thing I would say is continuous research. Because you might be studying a course, right, or you might be studying a preliminary course and coming to a cybersecurity course, you can learn some skills, and I'm pretty sure like within 1 year those skills will want to bite for the dust. That is for sure, because the dynamics of how the attacks are changing, and the dynamics on the knowledge which is coming from the globalization, it's really really vast. So every time you won't be able to expect your teacher to come behind you and guide you on what you have to do. So you need to have a complete like a research methodology. So don't choose cybersecurity as a field where you can hack your girlfriend's mobile phone and steal her information. So that is not cybersecurity. It has a lot more to offer, right? So like choose cybersecurity as a challenge, as a responsible field where you're going to help yourself and your neighbors and the nation free from all these nasty attacks.
Yeah, so I think both of you touched about why the younger generations are more inclined to hack and get into this particular field. But tell me, what interested the both of you in cybersecurity in the first place? What drew you to this field, and what do you like the most about it?
Jude.
Yeah, sure. What I really liked about cybersecurity is I have completed my degree in 2012, and so I was learning about the IT and everything right from 2008-9 during that period. So I have seen what was the technological shift and what people were really fuzzing when it comes to this infrastructure domain. Back in the days, people were fuzzing about voice over IP, but security was on the second rank, voice over IP was on the first rank. Then after some time people were buzzing about storage area networking. Then voice over IP, I don't know where it went, but storage area networking was on the first rank, cyber security on the second rank. Then people talking about cloud security, cyber security on the second rank. People talking about data science as being first, cyber security on the second rank. Then artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. So what I have observed is every time frame there is someone always on the top, but he's changing. After 2 years he is nowhere. But cybersecurity is always consistently performing like Mahela Jayawardene, consistently performing, and he's on the second rank. He is not going, unfortunately, not going to the first rank, but not going to the third rank as well. Then I thought, this is the guy I need to hang on. So I was with the networking and I was with the network security domain. Then I really thought, okay, this domain is changing. Cloud is coming, blockchain is coming, AI is coming. But cybersecurity is always, like on a very steady progress. And another point is, wherever you go, cybersecurity is there. You talk about finance, there is a thing called finance technology with blockchain and bitcoins and all. So there, cybersecurity is there, blockchain security is there. Cloud, you talk about cloud, then there's a cloud security, there's a cloud pen testing. So this is a very vast field and never ever going to die. And there is so many demands in abroad and as well as in Sri Lanka. And on top of that, are you really going to work for 10 million years to become a CEO? If you work as a software engineer, that is what it happens. Probably 25 million years if you work as a network engineer. But cybersecurity is not like that. It's stylish, it's colorful. You can show your colors to the entire organization. You can directly work with big guys. Your CEO will respect if you are doing your job very well. So it gives you a quick elevation. That is what I have personally felt. And you can reach out to the C-suite position very faster if you choose the cybersecurity, or you need to take up a couple of generations to reach to that if you are working on any convention out of the field. No offense to other fields. Thank you.
Mrs. Yam?
Jude. See, okay, in my view is same as Jude, had nothing more than that or nothing less than that. But I just want to add on one point there. I mean, even though on those days when we were kids, I mean, we know that, I mean, a mango is 50 cents or maybe a 1 rupee a mango, but now you can't even imagine that to buy that price. But see, still, it's really interest to steal someone else's mango tree and to that is really interested something. So that push me to into when it comes to the computer also, I always do hard disk, can I, if the hard disk broken, can I repair this one? So that always technical side on point of view. So on those days, the nitrated vehicle was there, and how can I build a nitrated vehicle? So the Elon Musk is now, he is with the automated vehicle, but it was came on our era. Nitrate was long back. So those technology films and everything were made to pursue another technology subject. So then how to protect this? Keep on protecting. Even now, my mind now I'm into the protection of thinking about it. See that we all say that artificial intelligence, as Jude said, artificial intelligence is there, but it's a number one. You create a robot, it's work with AI. Think about if someone hacked that AI robot.
Yeah.
What can happen? So it can attack anyone, or it can harm anyone. So we always say that, this is problem, that is problem, and also that's the main reason. So I'm always passionate about what? To do something different. That's one thing.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
One more point to add, Amasha, regarding the robots, nowadays people are having artificial pumping engines in the heart, and those are having chips nowadays. And some in movies also they have fantasized, hacking to the chip and making the heart pump very faster and killing you is a new era, new trend actually. No need to stab you with your knife, and no need to give you poison and do stuff like that. Hack into your heart, I mean the chipset of your heart, and killing you, and that is one of the things. And one more thing, I would like to ask you, how do you feel, Amasha, if you are the CEO of Google and Tesla right now? You must be feeling flying, and if I am you, I will be feeling flying. But the story that these people are really took a very long time in order to come to this position. They started with the garage. A lot of efforts they have actually put. Efforts in the means of money, in the means of time, in the means of talents, and the waiting, and a lot of efforts they have put. My thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all those efforts, put it into a glass bottle, nicely close the glass bottle, and give it to you. And you have to keep the glass bottle very safe. If you lose it, you're not the CEO anymore. Right? So that is what the scenarios are. This is number one. So I have taken everything, I put it into the glass bottle and gave that bottle to you. You are keeping it, enjoying the benefits of becoming a CEO of those two companies. Now, I'm going to take a very rusty iron rod and break the glass bottle into pieces. So at this moment, how do you really feel? You're going to feel very disappointed. Everything that you are holding is going to bite for the dust. The question is, are you wanted to be a bottle, or are you wanted to be the rusty iron rod? If you wanted to be the rusty iron rod, yeah, welcome to cybersecurity. Or if not, go inside and sit inside the bottle. This was something this is not my invention. This is someone who invented the CEH course. That guy has given on the introductory seminar. I was a kid when I was listening to it, and I thought, whoa, I wanted to be a rusty rod. So far, I'm trying my level best. So I just wanted to add this story. Sorry if I have taken your time.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a very interesting illustration, and it, hits straight to the point. So that's brilliant. And to uh, move further, I think this is something that Mr. Jude mentioned as well when you were answering this question. Um, how can you progress your career by studying cybersecurity? So, like you said, it's so much easier to get recognized where if you are good at cybersecurity. But how can you progress your career to reach that standard if you are a student studying cybersecurity?
Jot, you can start.
Yeah, so the only catch that we have for this one is you have to have the right knowledge with the right tools at the right time. So these three, dimensions need to meet very well for a person to get succeeded. So my humble suggestion is, I wanted every young people to go ahead and concentrate on three different things. One is your academic performance, professional certifications, and the industrial experiences. So don't mix and match these three things. Thoroughly start everything. So start with your academic career. Go start an HND on cybersecurity, and then progress yourself to the bachelor's degree. Do you think it is enough? Definitely not. You are living in 2023. Bachelor's is not enough. You have to progress yourself to masters and maybe a double masters. And if you have patience, go for it. It's up to you. This is academic part. Parallelly, start your certifications or start your skills and on the professional certifications like certified ethical hacking, or nowadays the famous one is pen 200, which is OSCP, a very difficult 48-hour exam, open book exam. You do it if you can. So it is a 48-hour exam. That is how they are. You can call anyone, you open Google, you do whatever you want. If you can, you do it. That's it. That's a very challenging exam, 48-hour exam. And do this, and then try to learn the CCNA. As I told you, try to learn all the technologies. Be a jack of all trades. Try to learn a little bit of system engineering, a little bit of network engineering, a little bit of cloud, a little bit of scripting, a little bit of database, mobile application development, PHP and website, backend, front end, you name it. You don't need to learn the nitty-gritty details. You have to learn how it actually works and how you can actually attack it. That's it. You don't need to build a website. If you know how the website is being built, that's fine. So this is professional learning. The third one is actually going to be your career. This career that you can, after finishing your first year or maybe your second year in HND, please start working. Work for free if no one is willing to offer you a job. Go and find a place where you can actually work, and you need that letter, 1 year letter. Put the truth bomb. Say that I'm going to work for free. I'm going to work 12 hours for free and work for 6 months. And then that experience, you can just definitely go ahead and, show it to other places, and you can find a paid job. So don't expect a fat wallet at the initial stage, especially if you guys are really young. And don't work like an ordinary person. Don't just go 9 to 5 and finish your job and go peek your noses on all the different places on your organization when it comes to cybersecurity. If someone is doing a risk audit, just peek your nose. Go there and see, hey, why are you doing this? What are you doing? Can I do this? Can I fill this Excel sheet for you? Can I do this, testing for you? Do that. Some people may not allow you to do it, but some will. Try to gain everything when you are young, because when you become older, people feel lazy to teach you. So if an 18 years, 21 years person coming to my organization and asking, hi, Jude, how can I do this? I put a lot of attention to teach to him rather than teaching a 28-year-old who is having 2 years of experience. So when you are younger, try to learn everything. And like Mr. Ziam has mentioned, go and do the bug bounty hunting, and minimum do it for 5 to 10 different places, and don't expect money. Just get that certificate done for you. These are some of the highlight points that I would say that it will help you to progress on your career when it comes to cybersecurity.
I'll add
Mr.
on some
Ziam, would
very
you
good,
like to?
Jude. Thanks. I'll add on few points. I mean, because since Jude has given us area, so the time is also concerned. If I summarize it, look for qualification, not for the certifications. Now, people are now what happened. Okay, I did this course, I got this certification, share it in the Facebook or Google or LinkedIn profile. So keep on adding certification. So that's nothing going to do with that. you need to add more qualifications. Qualifications in the sense what happened, you must be able to prove that you can do it. That's what about examination also. But those 60 questions or 50 questions will be not your lifelong. So at times it keep on changing. So that is to just for testing you. That's all. So improve your qualifications. As Jude correctly mentioned, what happened? Do practice, 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 practice. Do it yourself. Help to your friends. Okay, help to your co-worker. Support your senior. Work with your other team members. Learn about the other organizations. Talk about your relevant domain. Now, see, for example, Amasha. Now, see, if I'm a barber, and when I see a person, I immediately see the bald head of Jude. Jude, sorry. Okay, I immediately see about the person's head. Okay, if I'm selling a slipper or anything shoe, I used to see that anyone, if I see the person, immediately my eyes go to the next to the shoe only. Okay, so if I want to become a cybersecurity expert, I want to see that all the cybersecurity expert people, I need to look into them, those people. I need to follow them. I need to talk to them. I need to get friendship with them, the LinkedIn profile. I need to see their articles, what are they sharing it. Okay, I need to read all the article papers and everything. The paper article reading will give you the certifications for you, but it will give you an experience and the qualifications to you. And you know the current trend, what is happening at where. And look for the international news. I mean, don't look at the local news. Okay, it's full about politics and hobby. So look for the international news. Learn about that. Okay, there's a security threat happening in this country. There's a cybersecurity breach happening here. How a politicians replying for a cybersecurity breach? Do you think that anyone of our country can give a statement about the cybersecurity breach? Even a threat happened in April 21. So people, they don't know they know about the media only. But in the country like I might always take Australia because it's my favorite part, because they are building the cybersecurity headquarters for the APAC region. Entire 56 country APAC region cybersecurity headquarters will be in Melbourne. They are doing it one. So the experts are welcome for there. So what happened? The relevant subject matter, the politician giving a speech like a cybersecurity expert. See, I mean, she said that she's not a technically jargon, but she knows the surroundings of it. So they said, okay, anyone who come to the hack to the Australian people, will be come back to you, and we'll be building a cybersecurity arm with us, and we'll be hiring all the expert. See that the business. So that based on that, how they are coming up with this by reading and talking to the people, relevant domain. That's it. So that's my suggestion. So mingle with the relevant, like-minded people. Definitely, that you will be gain more knowledge on that. Amasha.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I think because our time is running out, I'm going to go straight to the more important questions. Okay, so for a student who wants to pursue a higher education in cybersecurity, what are some key factors that they need to look at when considering which degree to choose?
Jude, I'll come with you.
Okay. So as I have already mentioned, like, when you are pursuing when you wanted to pursue cybersecurity, one of the key factor that you need to know is, don't rely on the person who is actually teaching you the cybersecurity. Make sure that you have a very good attitude towards researching it and always being update with what you are actually going to learn. And the second thing that you need to understand is, again, that is only one factor. The another factor is, you need to go ahead and find a nice degree which is very reputed and which has so many modules into it, because as we have already discussed, the cybersecurity is having so many different kind of flavors, like malware analysis, digital forensics, incident management, ethical hacking, penetration testing, and even policies, projects, and there's so many different things. Learning only one part is not going to be satisfactory. So make sure you select a degree or a program, or academic program, which covers almost 70 to 80% of it, and remaining 20 you can actually cover by yourself, right? For the 80%, you need to have a guidance. You need to go through a framework, because you are young. At the age of 24, 25, yes, you don't need that. But now at this age, yes, you need it. So try to select a degree or pathway program which is already structured and which covers about 80% of what cybersecurity contains. And the remaining 20%, that is the relevant fields. Always stick to the one main field and try to adapt to the relevant field as well. Don't be adamant on one particular field, right? So just try to lean towards the relevant fields. Learn a little bit of data science, learn a little bit of artificial intelligence, learn the scripting, learn the cloud. Just learn it little bit. So later on, you can quickly switch it as a chameleon. We have to be a chameleon in this fast-growing industry, unfortunately. So that is what the main factor that I'm actually telling. Try to find something which gives you 80% on the entire domain.
Yeah. And my suggestion is to, don't choose that, because of my friend is studying cybersecurity, I also want to do the cybersecurity. That is totally wrong. People might be thinking, he become a cybersecurity, I also want to do cybersecurity. Don't worry about it. I mean, don't choose that way. You might be good in network security. Why you cyber security? We are focusing. Maybe you can be a good programmer. Maybe you have that programming skills, that mindset you have it. So it's all comes from your back end. That means how you are past 5-6 years, how you behave at your school, and how your mind, your thought, and that based on that only you have to consider. Okay, my career. If I choose a cybersecurity, it will be good for me. That you can, not because of cybersecurity is a trending word or artificial is a trending word, that you want to pursue that one. Sometimes what happen mostly, if you've seen that some of the students, what happened, they chose because of the parents says to study about bio A level, so they start bio A level bio, they fail, then they started CIMA or ACCA, then they become an expert on that domain. So why you wasted your time there, Ramil? So don't waste your time for unnecessary things where it's not relevant to you, but it might be your. Make sure that you continuing this. That means what you need to have a passionate on that subject. If so, whatever the difficulties, think you will be not you looking at your clock when you are doing a cybersecurity subject. If you keep on doing, I want to troubleshoot, somehow to sort it out, maybe early morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, then you are the person who want to pursue the cybersecurity subject. It doesn't mean that, all the cybersecurity experts need to wake up until 4 o'clock. But my question is I'm saying it, what you need to have that time is not your concern. You said about you need to eagerly take, I need to troubleshoot it. I need to sort it out the problem, this one. Something happened to my company. Some attacks came to my company. I want to sleep. No, you can't do that one. Cybersecurity expert, make sure that you can sleepless night, maybe 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, sleepless night. If your data center is down, you need to be on that particular relevant domain you have to work around. So if you can commit on that day, this is the domain, this is the area where definitely you will be, like how a doctor saves your life, similar, people will be evaluating, he's a cybersecurity expert. He saves my company. He tried to, that's what people say. That my account got hacked and this guy was saved that my account. Otherwise, my entire life is gone. My personal data is gone. My photos are there. That's my personal information. So be that person, like a policeman. You be the policeman of that, but 24 hours you need to work. That's how his life is on. If so, that's all. Nothing else with it.
Yeah, and that is very sorry.
Sorry, Amasha.
Sorry, please
I'll quickly say one more thing. There is, again, when it comes to choosing the module, or when it comes to going towards it, or choosing the skill, there is always two colors, blue and red. Blue is always defending, red is always attacking it. So sometimes that if you're like Mrs. Yam said, if you are a blue person, go for the network security. If you are a red person, go for the cyber security. And how do you understand that you're blue or red? When you're walking on the beach, you can see some kids are building the castle. And what do you want to do? You want to build the castle by your own, or you wanted to break the other's castle? What do you enjoy? You wanted to kick the other kid's castle. If you are that kind of a person, you are not a psychopath. You are a cybersecurity engineer. If you wanted to build a similar castle like other kid, you go ahead and be the blue guy. Again, you are a cybersecurity person, but you are a defending cybersecurity. Choose the modules related to defense. Ask your moderator, ask the institution to show you the path, which are the defending modules. You don't fall for that myth that you have to learn ethical hacking and that is the stylish career, that is something that you can show off colors. Yes, true, but if that is not what you are going to do, and if you are doing it, you might not be succeeding probably at the age of 30, because everyone have a small drop at the age of 30 and your drop will be very big. So,
Yeah, and in addition to that, Amasha, first of all, if you want to pursue cybersecurity, choose your mentor properly. so the career counselor properly, because I know that it's very difficult to choice see that the person is will be continuing the education also. Now we spend more time with the students, maybe 45 minutes, 1 hour, and we ask the parents also to come sometime to sit with us to discuss, because the parents also need to understand the difficulty, how the student going to be in the subject. So we need to make sure that maybe if you're married, then we need to ask the partner also, everyone to come here, that level of counseling you have to give it, otherwise they will be misguided. So that's very carefully need to handle this particular area. That's one. Amasha.
Yeah, that's some very important factors that we need to keep in mind. Definitely passion, identifying which role you are most suited for, and having a very strong mentor. So definitely. And I think my last question is something that we were talking about even yesterday when we were preparing for this session, that Mr. Jude suggested, and it was something really interesting. And I think it is so relevant, especially in this day and age. So let's talk a little bit about the impact of artificial intelligence, especially, with all of this news stories that we see about ChatGPT, how they passed all of these bar exams and business exams. So what is the impact of these artificial intelligences coming into these technological fields, and what is the impact of these technological advancements in cybersecurity?
Okay, guys. What is going to happen here is, 10 years back, or maybe 5 years back, even 1 year back, even 6 months back, the slogan is practical. Learn the practical. Theory, less theory, more practical. This is what the slogan. Now it has to be changed, because, for example, software engineering, I'm not pretty sure what is going to happen to that entire field. Anyone can be a software engineer now. All you need to do is you need to write the sentence on ChatGPT or any other artificial intelligence. There are many more than ChatGPT is only updated till 2021, and there are many other artificial intelligence they have up to 2023 January. So if you write request a question, it's providing you the code. It can be on Java, it can be on PowerShell, it can be even NetLogo, Scala, pretty much everything is there. So what is the point of the practicality here? So the level of practical influence is going to slightly reduced. And what we need to do is we need to understand the theory behind. We need to increase our logical thinking. I have seen, especially with the networking engineering and cybersecurity, some of the people, they get panic when situation arises. When they were asked to do a job, probably within 10 minutes, you need to resolve this incident. Hey, there is a ransomware catching it. What is the root cause? Can you figure it out within 1 hour? They panic because they are process oriented. They go through step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5. And they don't divide and conquer. We need to actually have that attitude. We need to build the attitude. I know that some people are by birth, you're having it. In case if you are not, it's time for you to build the attitude. Build it. Don't think everything as process. Just divide it and conquer, because those processes and everything is artificial intelligence going to take care. So every steps, everything artificial intelligence is going to take care. And it is only 3 months the artificial intelligence is commercialized, and lots of noise in pretty much every social media. And I'm really sick of hearing the word ChatGPT at the moment. Really, really sick of hearing the word, because it's everywhere. It's there. ChatGPT, everywhere it's there. So what we need to do is we have to show the human power. Learning and keeping everything in the brain, artificial intelligence can do it. Summarizing it, coordinating, it can do it. What he can do and what we can do is the logical thinking. The only human element which is left for us, probably that will be died in another 5 or 10 years. But as of now, the thinking, the logical thinking, and the experience from our day-to-day life that we are actually observing it, and the things, that is the only thing that we have to actually adopt it. And make sure you spend a lot of time on understanding the theory behind. Practical is one side, but understand the theory behind, then you will be able to troubleshoot the scenarios. And do not try to skip it. A lot of young people, they try to skip the theory. They sleep when you teach the theory. Don't do that. If you do it, you will be a slave for ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence that's going to come up. So if you want them to work for you, understand the theory behind, learn and be the master, and bring your human thoughts, to the highest level. That is what I thought, Amasha.
Very
Yeah,
true. And Mrs. Yam, if you would like to add to that.
yeah. I'll come with the practical things. Okay, I used to do mostly on this, and remember that those days people use a telephone book to write down all the numbers of and the people's name and all. Okay, so what happened to that? It's gone. Then people use the digital diaries, so they keep a digital diary separately that for the numbers and saving that one. So now no one is keeping that one. But
Even the telephone is gone now.
nowadays, yeah, nowadays everyone voice message call Jude, it's calling. That's what. But the thing is, what happened now? If you go to a normal small grocery, you buy so much of stuffs, maybe 20, 30 stuffs. You ask that grocery small boy who was giving in the shop store, they calculate it. He quickly calculate it, and he's give the calculating. But if it's for the new generation, they will take the phone to calculate and calculate that one. So it's we are on an era there where it's time run fast. We need fast food, we need Uber, pick me, and we don't have a time to cook and sit and eat. And fast food, they call fast food. Fast will go inside, fast will go outside. Okay, so there's no digestive system properly will work around. There's no proper logical system. You won't get people get sick of it because of they are not eating good digestive food, so not energetic food. So this is all happening and all. So just because of its taste, you can't cook the sugar instead of the rice. Okay, so now what happened? People knows, okay, they try to cook the sugar now instead of a rice. So this is happening. What happened now is late as anything comes, they try to adapt that one and to be on it. It's fine. It's fine. You need to adapt it. You need to take it out without chat GPT help or anything. It's fine. You have to take it out. But how wisely you're going to use it, whether it will be helpful for you, that's when you want to make sure. How you going to get that help of this and save your time in order to give more productivity to the society or to the world. That's what you want to make sure about. Correctly, Jude said what happened. There is no medicine for the stupidity. Okay, so all these cybersecurity threats and hacking and everything happen because of a stupidity. You can be a network admin, senior guy, cybersecurity CIO, but if your password is breached, your entire organization is gone. So you can be very small stupidity can be used, fall into that victim. So you don't be into that level because you believe in all the technical gadgets and everything. Don't lose yourself. Don't compromise your genuinity, your bio. You don't compromise it. So you all depend on artificial intelligence, but you are a naturally intelligent person. So you make sure that your skills are there inside. Okay, you build it, bring out those skills to use this artificial intelligence. So that is very key point. I just want to give it to you. That's all.
Thank you so much. And I think we had a very thought-provoking and a deep dive conversation into cybersecurity. And I hope it helped all of the students who are joined in, or the parents, anyone, to understand if cybersecurity is the career path that they should choose, or if that is the study program that they should choose for their future. So it was absolutely brilliant talking to you both, Mr. Ziam and Mr. Jude. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedules and joining us. It was a very enlightening conversation. So once again, a big thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Amasha.
Thank you very much for having us here. And we need to build our Sri Lankan as a knowledge-based society. So we know that we nothing will be left over in Sri Lanka. Everything will be bought by some other countries. So only knowledge, only you can save it. That nobody can sell. So we want to build a knowledge-based society in Sri Lanka. That's what we're all about here. Thank you for the HCL for organizing and chocolate, and thanks for Amasha for being with us and doing us. Thanks, Jude.
Thank you very much, Ziam. Thank you, Amasha. And
Of
thank you,
course.
team. Have a good day, team.
And definitely a big thank you to HCL Tech for partnering with us at Chocolat to make this webinar a possibility. So with that being said, I hope everyone who joined in learned a lot and they got all of their questions answered. So hope all of you guys have a brilliant weekend. We have an exciting day tomorrow. So yes, I hope you'll have a very entertaining weekend. And hope all of you guys have a great rest of your night. So a very good night to all of you. And once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
It comes from having a clear objective, a goal, moving forward unwaveringly towards success. It can be fast